Okay, in this video we're going to talk about adjectives. Don't get overwhelmed by all that I've written on the board. Just wanted to save a little time and give you lots of examples. So I'll walk through all the examples that I've written here, so don't overwhelm yourself by trying to read everything. I'll pronounce it all. So adjectives. What is an adjective? An adjective in Hebrew and in English is a word that modifies a noun. So the words like big or small, colors. Colors are adjectives. The green chair, the big city, the great book, whatever. Adjectives are words that modify nouns. Now in Hebrew, adjectives generally function in one of two ways. You can have attributive adjectives, and you can have predicate adjectives. Now I'll get to those in a second, but both of them, both predicate and attributive adjectives, modify nouns. They just do so in different ways, and we have to render them differently into English translation. So it's important to be able to tell the difference between the two. And there are signs that will communicate the difference between them. So you can rest assured in the fact that there are signs. You just have to learn them. So I'll try and explain them to you. But first, the qualities of Hebrew adjectives. Adjectives, because they modify nouns, share a lot of properties in common with nouns, which is really helpful. So, for instance, adjectives in Hebrew will always agree with the noun they modify in both gender and number. So, for example, here we have ish gadol. Ish, gadol. Ish is the word man. Gadol is the word big or great or large. And so we have a big man, a great man, a large man. Some people call me Ish gadol or Moshe gadol, right? Because I'm so tall. Ish gadol, okay? Let me show you another one, and then I'll show you the difference between them. Here we have ha'ir. Ha'ir. Ir, you'll recall, is the word city. Ha-gedolah. Ha'ir, ha-gedolah. Now, gedolah is the same word as gadol. However, gedolah is the feminine singular version of gadol, which is the masculine singular form. And the difference between them is the comets hey on the end. And so here we have a chart telling us about the endings of adjectives. And the endings, you'll notice here, are the exact same as the noun endings. And so, what that illustrates is that nouns and adjectives have the same endings. Now, because not all nouns have a consistent ending, particularly the feminine and masculine singular nouns, they don't always end in the same letter. Therefore, masculine singular adjectives will not have an ending. Okay, so I just wrote a line here in the chart under masculine singular. Okay, I'm going singular on, masculine on the right, feminine on the left, singular on top, plural on the bottom. That's the organization. You see MSMP, FS, FP. That's what that's suggesting. Okay, so masculine singular adjectives, there is no specific ending that they will take. So they might have a different ending for every adjective. For instance, here you see gadol just ends with a lamed. Here, the next one, this is also a masculine singular, ha-ish, ha-ra. The man, the evil man. But this one ends in an ayin, just because that's the way the word ends. There's no ending on it. It's just a word that has whatever letter it ends with. Okay, so that's for masculine singular. However, all of the other three will have very specific endings for adjectives. The nouns that they modify may not always, for feminine singular. Masculine plural and feminine plural will have consistent endings. The feminine singular adjective ending is the feminine singular noun ending when it appears. And it's kametz he. So it'll end in an ah. Now, the noun that I chose here doesn't follow this example because it's a feminine noun that doesn't end with a kametz he. But ha'ir, ha-gedolah, you see the kametz he on the end of the adjective. Now, another example could be ha'isha, ha-gedolah, the great woman, right? So ish, gadol, a great man, isha, gedolah, a great woman. And you hear that the noun endings, because they match, creates a kind of musical cadence. Ha'isha gedolah. Other examples, here's divarim. This is the plural now, masculine plural. Divarim, tovim. Words, good ones. Good words. Divarim tovim. You hear that? Divarim tovim. So many words in Hebrew rhyme precisely because of this. They share endings. And this one, the feminine plural, mitzvot. Mitzvot are commandments. Rabot. Rabot. Mitzvot rabot. Many commandments. Many commandments, right? So you hear the holem vav tav ending is the feminine plural noun ending, and holem vav tav is likewise the feminine plural adjective ending here in our chart. So here are the endings. All that to say, Hebrew adjectives match, they must agree in both gender and number. And so, if you don't know what the gender of the noun is, if there is an adjective that's modifying it, you can tell the gender of the noun based on the gender of the adjective, right? So, ir, you don't know necessarily by looking at it if it's a masculine or feminine noun. However, it's modified by gedolah, and feminine singular adjectives will always end in kametz he. So if there's no kametz he, there's no holem vav tav, and there's no hirik yod mem, then you know it's a masculine singular. Okay? So hopefully that's clear.